This is my game about surviving on a bunch of tropical islands, however, it has a huge issue. You see, I've added 5 different biomes that I spent months working on, but not a single one of them has a hostile creature. Except for the desert, I guess. The cactuses here would beat the hell out of you if you get too close. So in this video, I'm adding ups to every biome in my game to make it more challenging and alive. There was a small problem though. The AI in my game was low-key dumb, all it could do was wander around and run away from the player. So before I could start adding new hostile animals, I had to improve the AI, and I might have went a little too far with it. Anyway, I decided to test the new AI on a crab, so this is an angry crab for now. I don't know what's up with the animations though. As you can see, he can follow and hit the player, but he's also very smart. Despite trying to hunt down something that is 10 times larger in size than him, he will try to run away if he's low on health. However, I decided to enhance the AI even more, and now our crab and any other animal in the game need to sleep, which looks really cool, but they also recover their health after they sleep. Different animals have different schedules, and we'll even have some animals that sleep during the day and wake up at night later in the video. Anyway, since I finally improved the AI, I felt like it was finally time to add new dangerous species that will try to send us to God's meat and greed, so I guess we don't need the angry crab anymore. I added a green snake that spawns in the regular biome, and it's the first of the 6 hostile animals I'm adding in this video. They're pretty chill, but if you get too close they'll try to kiss you. They also don't have a lot of health and will usually try to escape after the first hit. If you kill one, it drops a small meat piece that you can cook just like a crab. I know we probably don't care, but animating the snake was hell until I gave up and made a shader that makes it look like it's moving, so work smart not hard, kids. I also made them spawn in the plains biome because I thought they would fit there, and they don't ruin the liminal vibes this biome has. If you watched the previous video, you probably know that in this biome you can find shipwrecks with loot boxes, and to spice up the gambling process, I decided to add the green snakes into the boxes. Since snakes like to hide in dark white places, now there's 3% chance that you'll be violently snake attacked when looting those boxes, so you should probably keep the distance when breaking them. Unfortunately, that was it for the liminal space biome and the regular biome. I didn't want to make the star biome too dangerous for obvious reasons, but I still felt like it needed something. However, the biome that probably needs to be more dangerous is the desert, since you can find a lot of iron and copper here. So I decided to add scorpions there. And I'm taking back what I said about animating the snake, because this thing has like a million legs. Took me a bunch of time and patience to animate them, so yeah. Anyway, they don't only hit but also poison you. The poison effect doesn't last for long, just like me, but it's still not very fun to get stung. However, they don't have a lot of health and usually run away after the first hit. Unfortunately, they also don't drop anything, as you can see. An interesting thing about the scorpions in my game is that they're nocturnal animals, which means they sleep during day and are active at night. I wanted to make it a feature for all of the desert animals, and the next desert animal I added was a desert snake. Yeah, lots of snakes in this update, huh? They have more health than the green snakes, so they're more dangerous, but they drop small meat pieces as well, so they're the only food source in the desert, if you don't count a couple of coconuts and palm trees. And of course they're venomous like scorpions, but the effect lasts for a way longer period of time. So it seems like a desert snake can kill you in just 2 hits, but I decided to copy a certain blocky game, and the poison effect in my game is not lethal, so the snakes are not too OP. Moving to the opposite of the dry dusty desert, the ocean biome. It's not really a biome, but there's one mob that just has to be added here since it's a survival game on islands, and that is a jellyfish. Okay, I'm kidding guys, it's a shark. Probably the most requested mob for this game. I made him spawn in the ocean between the biomes, so it's more dangerous to travel now, because they swim faster than you and deal a lot of damage, and we're not even safe on a boat. Well, so far we are, because I'm not finished with them at this point, but they'll be able to break boats. The sharks are so dangerous, they can even kill us after they die. I made their meat poisonous if it's not cooked, which is accurate by the way, because they have a lot of crap in their meat, and even if you cook it, it still will dehydrate the character a little. I finally made the sharks destroy the boats, and they're crazy about it. So now I can finally say that we're not even safe on a boat. However, when a shark breaks a boat, it looks kinda goofy because there's no breaking sound. In fact, nothing in my game has a breaking sound, so I decided to add them. Not sure how noticeable it is, but I made the last hit sound louder and deeper. I tried to add different sounds, but none of them sounded right, so I decided to reuse the same hit sound but lower the pitch and increase the volume. Back to the ups, I decided to add jellyfish to the ocean as well. This is what they look like in game, and they don't like to be touched, so if you get too close they'll kinda attack you. I mean, you get the poison effect if you're too close, and the longer you touch them, the longer the poison effect lasts. Other than that, they're pretty chill, they won't try to hunt you down, that would be too weird. I made them spawn between the islands like sharks, but in big chunks. They come in 3 sizes, and the size does matter, because the biggest one is the most poisonous and the smallest one is the least poisonous. It barely damages the player, as you can see. Keeping with the ocean theme, the next enemy added was an explosive pufferfish. I probably need to explain this one, so in the last video I enhanced the effect of the blue mushrooms that make you trip balls by adding flying fish that you can kill using a spear. It's like a mini game because you also get score for killing them. However, it wasn't very fun if I'm being honest, so I decided to add some enemies there as well. I finished the model and I think it turned out really good, so if anyone wants to buy it for 10,000 Zimbabwe dollars, write in the comments. The flying pufferfish makes the minigame even more trippy. I mean, look at this face, it's looking terrifying. But don't hit them because they will explode and do some damage. So yeah, you can even die on shrooms now in my game. Moving to the swamp biome, I added a red mushroom that restores your health. You were probably expecting some new enemies here, but I decided to split this update into two parts because I also added something huge that took me a lot of time in this update. You'll see later in the video what it is. Back to the mushrooms, the red mushroom restores 20 health points. I also decided to make unique models for every mushroom kind because they look too similar, and it helps colorblind people, I think. I really like the way the blue one looks now, by the way. Okay guys, check this out. I decided to touch something that had to be touched way before. Yeah, that's a weird way to put it. But the combat in my game was very primitive. That's why I decided to enhance it a little. So now you can charge your hits with the machetes if you hold the right mouse button. It deals more damage and has a crazy knockback, but also you can hit more than one enemy at once, which is very useful when a bunch of scorpions are trying to gank you. Unfortunately, it's only for combat, so we can destroy bushes faster with it. I didn't stop at machetes though, because we also had spears that could be improved. I finally made them throwable, and the spears even deal more damage when you throw them. It's really satisfying to hit moving targets, but as you can see, I low-key suck at throwing them. I did some crazy trick shots off camera though.
Stop the cap.
And since we can throw the spears now, I decided to work on the save system. I don't know how these are related, but the huge thing that I added in this update that I was hyping up earlier is a new save system, and it's probably the most important thing I've ever added to this game because I made the saves work with different versions of the game starting from this one. It means that when my lazy ass makes the part 2, you won't need to start a new game to enjoy all of the new features. Unfortunately, I'll need to change it once again when I add a random world generator, but it's not gonna happen for the next couple of updates. I don't know if it was good news, but I have some other good news for you. I revived the angry crab. I thought he was too funny to just remove him, so now there's a small chance that a crab you see would be angry, and we have not 6 but 7 new hostile animals in the game now. I swear it wasn't planned, but you can hit the dislike button if you want to. They also can spawn in the boxes and barrels from the shipwrecks like the green snakes. Speaking of the boxes and barrels, the game is getting harder with each update, and I like hard things, but apparently I'm the only one because people been complaining about it. So I added a couple of loot boxes spawning with you when you start a new game. Well, sometimes it's barrels, not boxes. They don't have crazy loot like the shipwrecks though. One of them always has some kind of food, it could be coconuts or mushrooms, and the other boxes can have random materials and food as well. So they're not OP, but they really help in the early game because you can focus on progression instead of looking for food all the time. Okay, I know the next thing I will do is not related to the rest of the update, but I decided that my game looked ugly again, and it didn't let me sleep at night because I do enjoy some good eye candy, so I decided to also improve the graphics in this update. Basically, I played with the colors and lighting to make the game look better, and in my opinion, the updated lighting looks way cleaner, but let me know in the comments. Okay, that's it guys. I will add enemies to the rest of the biomes in the part 2, so subscribe to not miss it or I will punch you in the face.